Okay, so let's have a look at this AX144 that arrived. Now, this is my own microphone, didn't come with a mic, well, it came with this Echo mic, which I think he wants done for it, but needle stuck. I've plugged in power, plugged in the antenna, set all the controls, get it ready, clarifier centered, they're out, they're out, they're out, they're out, AM, squelch down, turn it on, oh, display's stuffed, needs a new display. I might pull that apart. Oh yeah, it's got a few digits gone, so that needs doing. 8, so it's got 2 digits done there, 2 segments done on that one. So that's C and D, is it? A, B, C. I think it's C and D. And that digit there as well, that segment there. So that needs a new display. Sometimes it's just the, oh no, that one's come back. And that one's just come back. Maybe it's just really dirty. Maybe it will come back with a bit of switch cleaning. Sometimes that happens. I was just about to say that actually. That bottom line there is also gone. I don't know. Could be more to it than it appears now. I don't know. No. No, I think it is actually stuffed. We'll give it a clean, but we'll see how we go. But I'll be surprised if that comes back. Right, so apparently it just needs an alignment. Well, the guy thought it just needs an alignment. We'll see. So let's have a look. Now, let's see how my gear's set up. I'm on set up for transmit. I've got the right dummy load set up. That's all good. Let's get the frequency counter fired up. We have TX, and it is off frequency. That's interesting. Hear that? That's that like squeal. Guess what? That's interesting. Might need recapping as well. But it is transmitting. It's just off frequency by a bit. Of course, my fingers can't still warm me up anyway. I don't have my rubidium turned on right now. In fact, I think I will turn that on. So it's got 2 radios to do. I might as well do it. Channel 1 again. Yeah, it does seem to just need alignment, so I'll come back to this one. But yeah, mainly recapping as well. Now apparently the other radio, the Grant XL, I'm sure there's in one video each. Yeah, no, I'll do a video each. So I won't go to the Grant XL yet. That'll be enough in video. So I'll start on this one. Let's get this case open. Now, I said there's a label on the side, or remains of a label on the side. It looks like it could be one of mine. It might not be. There's also another label which is similar size. So it may not be a radio I've already done before, but it's possible. We'll find out when I open it up, because I always have a sticker inside as well. Although I'll have a serial numbers recorded too if I've done it before. Okay, no sticker from me, so I haven't worked on this one before. It must have been the other sticker, the other type of sticker that gets used. Alright, so. Oh, that's interesting. Wow. And it still works. Okay, you got to see this. You probably can see it already. I'm going to move the camera a bit closer. It's on a bit of a hinging arm thing, so I just have to Bear with me a little bit. Okay. What do you see wrong in this picture here? It's fairly obvious. Especially when I get my hand out of the way. What's wrong with this picture? Something is not right. Can you see it? Might explain that thing. Found it yet? Give you a couple more seconds. Right, that's enough. If you haven't found it yet, you need more practice. Look at that. On the audio amplifier, there's a big hole in the top of it. It's blowing the audio amp out. Very interesting. And yet it still has audio, it still works. What the hell? That is weird. Okay, well, well, it has TX audio. Okay. No, it's okay. No RX audio. There's no RX audio, right? That's the RX amp audio amplifier, but it's obviously using just this one here for AM. Alright, so yeah, there's no RX audio. Right, so that audio amp there is blown out. Very interesting. But from the little squeal I was hearing, that tells me it likely needs recapping. It's got Rubicon caps through it, but they're old. They're going to be doing. But thankfully, there's not too many capacitors in here. It's not too bad. So there's only maybe 20. So I'll have to do a full recap and replace that device there, which is a UPC something. I have to pull a circuit diagram out for it to find out. But yeah, a bit more than just alignment then, isn't it? Oh dear. Always interesting. Well, I'll try replacing that first before I recap it. It may not need recapping. If it behaves after that, it may not need it. So we'll go from there. And yeah. Also, let's have a look. Actually, now I've got my rubidium running and my frequency counters are warmed up and everything, and the radio's had a bit of a chance to warm up. It's close to the frequency. It's still wrong, but it's closer. It's almost acceptable, but it's still warming up. But anyway, so okay, I'm going to stop this and look at that part, find out what the hell it is. Okay, so here's the circuit diagram for the AX144. Now the audio amplifier is just here, so let's just zoom into that. Hopefully. It's a bit slow. Right. So here we go. IC4. This is a UPC 1182H. So a big hole in it, which is unusual. Someone may have shorted out a speaker or something. It's very odd to have that go. It could well be it's been over voltaged. One of the things in the email said that it may have seen 24 volts. Well, we said about the grant, not the AEX. Well, that could well be from 24 volts going through it rather than the correct voltage. So there may be more going on here. He may have remembered it incorrectly or something and told me backwards. But that may not be the only fault. So I'm going to see if I've got one of these devices, UPC 1182H. I may do. I haven't replaced an audio amp in years. So we'll see how we go. Hopefully I've got one. Now interestingly, according to the diagram which I just showed you, hopefully I've got the video in the right sequence, and that's the case. It's supposed to have a UPC 1182H, which is this part here. Now you notice the difference between this part and the one that's in this radio. It's not the same. So I'm not quite sure what the story is there. I do have another part here, which is a used one. I'd rather put a used one in first case it's still a problem. But this looks exactly the same, and this is a get the focus, UPC 1242H. So I might just go and have a look for screenshots online and it's verified a part, because fortunately the part number's blown off it. It may have been a revision change which has resulted in a different part, so I'll have to come back and have a look at that after. Well, I've had a little look around online and I cannot find a decent picture of this, so I'm going to take a guess and just hope that I'm right. The part looks the same, so I'm confident but not 100%. I mean, it's a UPC, it begins with a 1 and it looks like it finishes with an H, so the chances are good, but I am nervous, obviously. So we'll do it anyway, and if it goes bang, it goes bang. Okay, so there you go, there's the part out. As you can see, there's the big hole in it. And here's the part I want to put in. They are, well, it's probably correct. I don't know what the difference is. I don't know why there is a difference, but anyway. So I'm going to put this part in. Hopefully the legs are long enough on it, and we'll go from there. And it may or may not work. It may go bang as well. I might do some testing around the circuitry actually, just to see if there's any bad resistances across its outputs. I have to look, see which outputs there are, and go from there. I'll come back shortly. Okay, so before I put this part in, I want to do some checks just to see if there's any obvious faults. Now, I've just done a little check, and pin 6 is the audio output. So I'm going to check between ground and all the pins basically, but pin 6 is the main one I'm looking at. As pin, which one's that? It goes that way up. So pin 1 is that end. Yes. So that's pin 1, this end here. So I'll start there. Alright. So that's showing hundreds of ohms and climbing up, so it's probably across the power supply. Pin 2 showing 40 odd mega ohms and climbing. Pin 3 open, nothing there. Pin 4 is earth, and 5 is also earth. Pin 6 is this one here, measuring like 3 mega ohms. 7 about 14 mega ohms, and 8 is about 12k. So nothing obviously bad there. Just here I can actually see a solder blob. That's when I was desoldering just now. It could have been. Looks like this has been repaired. Look, see, this has got solder there and some flux residue. That's been repaired. That's burnt out before. Little blob just across there too. I'm not sure that was from me, actually. Sometimes these tracks down here burn out, but they seem okay. But this looks like it's been repaired here at one point. So there's no obvious faults there at least. So I'm going to put this part in, and we'll go from there. Let's see if I can get. The tricky thing with this is these legs are quite short because it's a used part. I don't want to put a brand new one in unless I'm sure it's not going to blow up. Right, because that would just be silly. So yeah, I need to figure out how I'm going to get this to sit properly. It's a little bit tricky. It might go. These pins are very short. I need to try and bend them all over, hopefully without snapping them off. Because I want to prove it is okay before I commit to putting a new part in. So let's actually do this on a hard surface. Bend them over. Let's see how this goes, see if that's enough. It might be. They're very short. I think I've only got one brand new part for this particular item. So yes, I haven't put any heat shrink compound on it, any heat sink compound. That's why I get it aligned to see if it's actually even going to work. I'm not sure it will yet. No, those pins are too short, so I'm going to have to try using a new one and come back again. So I'm going to pause this and I'll fit a new part, get it back out, and cross my fingers that it doesn't blow up. Okay, so what I've done now is I'll just tack this other one on, just on this side of the board, just for testing, because I don't want to waste a brand new part on the few I have. Well, I think I've only got one, and risk having this blow up. So, moment of truth. What's going to happen? Okay, so see if it's got hot. It has got warm already, but is there any sound? Let's plug in a speaker. Which one's which? That one. Plug the mic in and see if we have any sound. We do have sound. And it's slightly warm. It's not getting super hot, so that seems fine. Okay, I'm confident I can put a brand new part in there now, so I shall do that. And it also proves I've got the correct part. Yes. Well, I'm going to have to put a note on that circuit diagram saying alternative parts. Okay, for different revisions. So this one here is an early revision, or maybe a later revision. I can't remember which way around it is actually. But this is one revision, and that is the other revision. So I have to watch out for that. And all the diagrams I've got and found have the other part on. So go figure. Okay, so I've got my new part here. I bent these legs are over 90 degrees to get it prepared. Now I'm just cleaning up the original insulator, mic insulator. Get the old crap off there and make sure there's no lumps or anything like that which could penetrate, and check its condition. So it all seems fine. But that feels more like plastic than mica, to be honest. Checking for any burn throughs or anything like that. Seems okay. So I can put this in. Now I've already put some thermal compound on the radio itself. And I'll drop that in place. And I'll put some on the back of this. This thermal compound of mine's getting quite old now. I think I've bought some new stuff. I've done it in my bags, you've seen it, but it's one of those things you just make sure you've got enough on there to make sure you've got decent thermal transfer. You know, that's plenty. Drop that in. Obviously I've taken the power off the radio when I'm doing all this stuff. Okay, now the first thing you do is actually bolt the thing into place. So I've got the screw up here somewhere. I've lost it. There it is. You have to make sure the little insulator on here is also correct. It's got the little shoulder around the screw, so it will go through the heatsink or through the tab. And I've got to find the hole it screws into. Here we go. Just to make sure it's going through correctly. It looks about right. Just give it a little wiggle around. The pins aren't quite in the right place for the bend, but it's probably okay. Just want to make sure it's sitting on the insulator properly so it's not shorting out the tab to the body. Okay, this is to a check to make sure it's definitely okay. No connection between that and that. Yep, that's fine. Always pays to check, especially if you've only got one part left. You'll have to try and find some more of those. I haven't purchased audio amps in years. I rarely had to do anything with them. Anyway, so these alignments are slightly out, but that's okay. I can just bend them a little bit, the ability to go. Yeah, I mean it's only just reaching. That's okay. Try and fold them over onto the board. The back of this tweezer is really good for this because it just bends them quite nicely, you know. So as long as it's not pushing downwards, it will work. Here's a little bit short. That's okay. There we go. All bent over nicely now. So let's solder these in. Actually, I'll stick some flux on this. Let's use this one. Use a good old antique. Need to try and get this plunger down, you see. So, alright. There's plenty. Definitely plenty. Alright. This is going to get smelly. Let's get this fan going. So I've had these parts sitting around for quite a while, so that's why I wanted to use flux to make sure they solder nicely. I'm not quite sure how much oxidation is on these legs. So let's bridge those ones across, haven't we? Again. Now there's actually a part there. There's a component leg just there which I think I'll push through the board. So over that one. I need to make sure it's okay. Yeah. The other end's actually looking a bit dodgy too, actually. The other leg is it in those ones? I think it is. Let's just do those again as well. Yeah, there it is. Right. Okay, all good. Now while I'm doing soldering, see if there's anything else here that needs doing. Turn it off. Let me quick look for any bad joints that look a little bit dodgy. Nothing obvious. Looks like it's reasonably good. Yeah, it looks reasonable. Okay, let's get it clean up. There's old flux there. Give it that. Okay, it's not looking too bad. Right, this has been messed with over here as well. It's where it's been converted. That's okay, it's not looking that bad. Right, so in theory, this will work. So let's plug it back in. Speaker, power. Get the metal things out of the way. Okay. Control's a bit scratchy, but it's got audio. So it's still doing that little squirrel thing. So over here somewhere. In that audio strip just there, it'll be in there somewhere. Okay, that's fine. So I think it needs recapping. Or should I just do some other tests first before I do that? I need to look at this display so I can do something about that. No, it's major getting that thing out too. It's an angled board. Oh, that's a pain. Not going to be easy to do that, but it needs doing. Okay, so what I was going to look at, receive, see if that works. RX. Well, it seems pretty dead so far. Eye level, let's go minus 67 dB. There is nothing there. Absolutely nothing there. Could be a set of alignment. It's possible. Let's go channel 1. There's nothing really there. Let's increase this RF level. Minus 20 dB. No, it's not. So it's got to transmit but no receive. Could be a frequency issue. There could be VCOs not locked on those frequencies. I'll have to look into that. It's going to take a little while. So at least the thing has audio now. So the audio amplifier is behaving. That's not getting too hot right now either. It seems okay. So, alright, we'll move on. Okay, so I thought I'd wiggle this plug around as I was unplugging it. I noticed the audio came back. Now, what I've just found is if I short the pin directly to the chassis, there's audio. So the this pin must be closed up slightly, so it's not actually working. Which one is it? That one there. Okay. So there is audio, it is working, it is receiving. That makes more sense. I couldn't see because of the needle being stuck on the meter. Something else we'll have to fix. So that pin must just be slightly closed up. So let's just look at fixing that. And we'll just do this very slightly, very gently. Don't do it too much, just gently open the pin up a little bit. Okay, so that's the RX. I did a common as well. And let's see how that goes. No, still not right. Yeah, interesting. Not normally that problematic. Can't see any issues there. I know it's safe to do this on this particular radio. I know there's no voltages on this particular board or on those pins. Normally you'd only do this if you know for sure that there's no voltage there, because some radios have a 12 volt supply or a 5 volt supply or something on that socket, and so you don't want to be shorting pins out in case you blow up the radio as a result of doing that. I know in this case it's perfectly safe. Why it's being a bit dodgy like that I'm finding interesting. I'm wondering if the pin is just really dirty. It's also possible. So anyway, I'll fiddle around with that and get that sorted out. So that solves that issue with that audio. So now let's look at the meter. There we go, just short those wires out to chassis, that'll fix it. It's like talkback. Anyway, so in here, there's always a bit of tape just over these. So I'm just going to break through this tape here and try and break the seal in that screw. Because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to turn this screw a little bit. Hopefully my head's not in the way of this. Right. Let's put a little dab of alcohol in here, just to help it slightly, hopefully. Soften it up a little bit. Sometimes you get a bit gunked. Alright, let's give it a twirl. See if we can get this thing to free up. The meter is moving with the screw. It's not what I want to happen. But it also shows it's stuck with this screw, so it's going to just keep on working it and try and free it up, because you can't undo it too much, otherwise the meter will actually fall apart. Alright, so what I was trying to do is just make it start sliding. That is getting freer and freer. The meter so far isn't doing that itself though. It's starting to. Okay. So it's freeing up slightly. I might have to do the bottom screw, not just the top one. But I'm hoping just by going backwards and forwards like this, it'll free it up anyway. Right. Is that working? No. Not yet. It's wanting to. I might do the bottom screw instead. The top screw is not doing it. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit and then back it back off again. Sometimes that can help. It's really stuck to this screw. I think that's free up there. There you go, that's now moving. Right. Okay. Let's put it back in a bit until it starts to stick and then come back. Right, that is now moving. There we go. Okay. That's the cheats way of doing it. I mean, you can do that a little bit, and hopefully it'll free up over time as well. If I put some more alcohol in it, hopefully it'll soften it a little bit and it'll work, just get better and better. Yeah. Still suspicious about the socket, but anyway, that's that part done. So the meter now works. I've just got to sort this socket here. I forget what's going on there, but I think the radio is 99% there now. It just needs to go into alignment and sorting that LED display out. Okay, so looks like there's two issues. Not only was it a little bit loose on here, I've resoldered all the back of these pins on the back here, and now it's working. There must have been a poor connection here, which was maybe flexing a bit when I had the plug in, which is then making it break. So I've resoldered those and now it's okay. So hopefully that's that problem gone for start. So that's 3 problems fixed so far. Still got the LED display to do. I think I'll probably do alignment first in case there's any other big issues. I know I've got that squealing problem too, actually I need to recap it. So I'll do all that next. Then I'll carry on from there. Right, so I seem to have come across one little issue with this. Now I've started doing the alignment. I've done most of it. There's no received signal strength on the meter, which comes from this adjustment here normally. I believe it's that one. And the AM audio is distorted. The sideband seems okay.
1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear that? It sounds distorted.
So there's an issue there with that. So I've recapped a little bit in here, and that stopped that initial squealing when it's transmitting. That is gone. Right, that problem's gone now. Okay, I only done like 3 caps just in this area here. I thought I'll just try it, and the problem is gone. So I'm gonna recap. I think I'm gonna have to recap the whole radio. The problem is I didn't really want to do that because then I have to pass that cost on to the guy which is paying me to do it. You know, and you know, it puts the cost up quite a bit. You know, mainly because of the time involved doing it. But anyway, you know, it's one of those things. I think it's going to have to happen. But so I thought I'd just show you that. But I'm hoping on distortion is due to bad capacitors, which is probably related to why that amplifier blew. I'm hoping that coil wasn't damaged, because that could be a problem. So I've been looking around the circuit diagram, which I should probably actually do a video of. And D10 and D11 are part of the AM detector and signal meter circuitry. Right, so the IF comes through, goes through these and heads up to the squelch amp and then to the audio amp and stuff like that. Right, so this is D11 here, and I'll just check that one, and that is okay that way. Do any other way. That's fine. That's 0.3 volts, which is kind of what I expect on these things. Do this one. That's open. Do it this way. Nothing. D10 is open. So D10 is broken. So I need to replace D10. So that could be part of the problem with the distortion, and certainly why the signal meter doesn't work. So I'll change that and I'll come back. Okay, so here's the diagram for the AX144 again. This is the diodes I found. So D11, which is okay, and D10, which was blown just here. Alright, so that is one of the issues there. I've also replaced C24, which is cap here, C26, that cap there, and I believe it was C63, this one here, but I'm not sure. I don't remember what that number was. I didn't look at it. I know I've done these two, but it's a 1UF 50 volt, and that's what that one there is by the looks of it. I can't see one around here. These are different values, so I don't think it is one of those. It's just there's a little group of 3 that I did, and that was in that group, so I think it's that one there. Or it could even be this one here, C64. I mean, I don't know, but something like that. So I definitely did those two anyway. Sorry, that one there and that one there, and that diode there, and that diode is one that fixed that issue with the no receive signal and distorted AM audio. Now what happens is this is actually part of the AM detector circuitry. So the IF comes through and passes through here, goes to this IC here, which is like a squelch amp and audio amp and stuff like that. So it does audio buffer or something like that. I can't remember what it does, but it's definitely a squelch amp side of it. Because this is the S meter output, so that's the RF output here, comes from there, and there's circuitry here as well. Maybe it's going in there, maybe it's going into that, and then you've got audio coming out, which goes down to the volume control, which I just need to find. I've lost it. Where's the volume control? We've gone too far. Here it is. There's the volume control just here. So you've got to fire that line up here to there. Comes up here and it goes through these buffers here. Okay, so that's where the audio path comes into here, and comes through this path here. So this is all part of the AM detector, and SSB feeds into this as well. So it's like a junction, common junction, and so the signal meter comes from this one. So it's all comes through this path. So having this blown diode here was obviously affecting the whole lot. So that resolved those issues. What else did I want to show you? Oh yeah, the display. The display is a common anode, in case you don't know that. Display, it doesn't show much on here though. But yes, it's a common anode display. And it's got a line coming out here. I'm guessing that's the common, so we'll just follow it, see where it goes. Up to here, which doesn't really say much, apart from bright dim. That's the, obviously dimming, okay, well, doesn't really say much, but it's a common anode display anyway. Okay, I think that covers all of it. Hope you've enjoyed the video so far. Okay, so I just replaced the diode, which is just here. I've just replaced that. There's the one I just took out. and we now have a signal meter. Alright, so that was the problem for the signal meter, and if I listen,
1, 2, 3.
let's get the volume a bit louder so you can hear it.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2.
The distortion has also gone. So that fixed that problem as well. One little diode. Interesting, eh? So that leaves me with the backlight on this the signal meter, because obviously that's blown, right? And the LED display. Almost there. Okay, so I replaced the bulb in the meter. Now I pulled the front panel off and got the display assembly out to look at changing this display. What I just did though before I did that is I just took up my it's not going to be easy to show this actually, but put up my probes here and gone onto the display and done some checks, and a couple of signals which weren't light up. I manually probe them, which means there's a good chance it's probably just a bad solder joint on this board. So I'm going to resolder this first, then I'll try it again, and then if that doesn't work, then I'll change the display. Okay, so there's the existing display module out, and this is one of my replacement ones. It's also red. I've marked this UR2R2 conveniently because that's what it is. If we can get it to focus, there you go. So that one is faulty. I managed to recover a couple of segments, but it wasn't enough. It's still dodgy. So this one's going to go in. So I've got the radio back together again, and all the screws are back in, and as you can see, meter works. Need your channel display, and it's all working. Now this microphone is one that came with it as well. It's Echo mic. It didn't have any audio, and I found the pot inside was dirty. So there's two pots in here, one for setting the echo delay time, and the other is for the audio level, and also you got the echo amount on the front here. But the audio level one was dirty, so I gave that a clean, and that seems to be okay now. But otherwise, it seems alright. 1, 2. So yeah, that's all good. So the radio is basically done. So I'm happy with that. Giving the front a little bit of a clean, not a huge one, just a slight tidy up. But it's all good now. So I'm very happy with that. And time to move on to the next radio.